Hi guys, Big Daddy Nines here. Alright, so a whole lot of you emailed me, even though I'm really a guy who does technical videos and Windows Server stack stuff. I had a lot of people that have been in my workshops before give me emails. I got a lot of good feedback from folks both in the YouTube community and some of the other places I keep my videos mirrored at, saying that they kind of wanted to see a little bit more of the Minecraft thing. Folks who watch a lot of Minecraft or play a lot of Minecraft, you guys aren't going to like my videos. You might as well stop right now. This is not a how-to on anything that normally anybody would go through if they already kind of know the game. I got a lot of techies that go to my workshops and stuff, and they don't know what Minecraft is, and we get to talking about games and stuff, and I tell them about it, and so that's kind of what I did the last time, and I just wanted to do another one here really quick. So if you liked the other one, one of the big questions that I got fairly frequently was, what was it I meant by a mob spawner? What did I mean by a monster trap? So they went out, and I kind of walked out there in the previous video, and we looked at it. By the way, you can tell I've kind of redone the house a little bit here, but those are the mob spawners out there, and there are 3 of them. And I really didn't cover that in a lot of detail because I didn't think anybody would really care. But they were fun to build. They just took a while. So let's take a few seconds and I'll show you what I mean by that. I do my mob spawners a little different. In fact, I've done 3 of them specifically because when when I was playing around trying to build one, I didn't much like the way that it turned out the first time, and so I've done a few of them just so, well, my wife and my youngest daughter, when we're all playing together, we can all kind of use the mobs that are falling out of these things and all gain experience, because officially this isn't really a mob spawner or it's a mob spotter. It's not a machine for gathering the drops that the mobs get. It's to get the experience. This does not kill the monsters like a lot of other people who build these monster traps. I don't let them die. I leave them here so that they're super duper easy to kill, but then I can actually gain experience and enchant things. So all 3 of these are different designs, and I guess we should talk about what I mean by mob. I mean the bad guys. There are 3 different designs here, and they all do the same thing in a different way. Now, first off, they have to drop, I think it was 22 spots to hit here, and when they hit the bottom, they're damaged a lot, but not enough to kill them. So it's fairly easy to kill them, even with something as simple as like a stone sword or a wooden sword. A single hit can kill these guys. So if I make a nice little stone sword, walk up to Mr. Creeper and hit him, he's dead in 1 shot. So it's a 1-shot kill, and when I walk around you can see these little green orbs that are flying about. I pick those up and it gets experience. So the idea here is to make it just super easy, get a lot of mobs starting to drop down. The longer let the machine run, the longer it goes. I did a little bit of that before, and in my previous video I talked about what are the different monsters. But let's talk about the monster spawners themselves, since there are 3 different designs. Some of which don't work quite as well in later updates. They all work, it's just that some of the design qualities that I have of these mob generation, let's pick a name. What are we going to call these things? This is an experience farm, so I'll try to refer to it as such. And okay, so we're on top of one of the 3. You can see all 3 of them are kind of at a different level, and that's because I did different things with each one of these. So let's talk about that and what we did on each one. So to do that, we're going to have to disassemble the mob spawner. So we get in here, and you can see inside I have, let me throw some light on the walls here. It's going to take me a while to fix this later, but so down here, wow, glitched out just for a second. you'll see that what I've done is I've got a kind of set of blocks, and you noticed probably when I was, let me grab something here I can use to, we had some blocks here, so let me just use those before I fall on my butt. Alright, so let's kill that, and oops, you can tell I don't practice any of this through before I actually start filming stuff. Okay, chop that, and let's put down a little cobblestone stairwell here for me so I can get up and show you. Alright, so you'll notice that all of these are 3 blocks and then one kind of a half block. Mobs won't spawn on these little half blocks. They only like to spawn on the full blocks, and a spider will form in 4 block radius. So this little 3 deal kind of keeps the spawner from generating a bunch of spiders. We don't like spiders in our mob spawner, so they kind of clog things up, and they're really not worth much of anything anyway. So and the fall doesn't really kill them quite as easily. So that's why we kind of do what we do. This is a spot where actually I probably need to put a half block because I didn't realize I'd left that open. And spiders can still spawn. Might actually explain why I'm seeing those. So anyway, they would get washed down into here, and this is kind of like the next level of the spawner. So down here, mobs can spawn, and up there they'll get kind of dropped off. From here they'll get dropped off, and then they fall down the big hole, and the hole takes them to the bottom of the trap. So if I were a mob and I was going, now watch my hearts, because I should get about the same damage that they will. I fall down here, oops, right around the creepers, so that's going to obviously end badly for me. And you can see this is kind of where we end up. Alright, so I need to kill this and then put another block back. So you notice that it didn't kill me when I fell, and I had just a few hearts left. I'm going to go ahead and feed myself real quick. There we go, that my hearts will go back up. So that was one design. This one seems to work actually, of the 3, pretty much better than all the others. I have anti-spider mechanisms in all of them. The next one I'm going to show you, the anti-spider mechanism doesn't work. I've tried revamping it about 4 times, and about every time I seem to get where I think that I've got the mob spawner not doing spiders, I'll see that it's clogged up, and I'll use a texture pack that you can see through the spawner, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. And you'll see very quickly that there's still spiders being generated. So okay, so we'll take a look at this next mob spawner here and kind of talk about a slightly alternate design. Actually, I think I might enter that from over here. Yeah, I thought I left myself a little path on how to get in, so we'll chop a hole in this wall next. Okay, so let's chop a hole. Okay, so there you go. So kind of a similar principle. I started this one and then I elevated it. I tried using single blocks because I was still getting spiders. And then you can see the original design had a very similar property here with the half blocks, and the same property with kind of the water rushing through. So these 2 spawners next to each other have a lot of similar types of properties. This one tends to generate a lot more spiders because of its design. I'm not sure exactly which one of these, and it's possible, maybe, I don't know, maybe you guys can hit me in the comments and tell me. It's possible maybe that spiders can spawn on walls now or something, I'm not sure, but yeah, okay, so you get the principle. It's just a bunch of blocks with some water underneath them, and the water, as you can see, kind of,
leads to this hole down here, and then you fall through the hole. Probably the biggest thing that's the difference between this and the other ones is the hole is only too wide. So regardless of anything, you will not get spiders dropping on you, but they can now clog up the hole. So alright, so from any angle in here, eventually the mobs have to drop. They fall into the water. They don't think they're going to get hurt because they have their AI algorithm knows how to avoid death in a lot of ways. So I'll fall down here, I didn't die, creeper blows up, and now you can see. You'll notice that the floor of these, I use a half block on top of a full block. That makes it just a, oops, yay, now you get to see the real underside of my trap. Let's hope I can get up there before some mobs start spawning on the deal. I left myself a nice ladder here just because that does tend to happen. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, half block on top of a regular block, because it makes it easier to get at the mobs. Actually, because I frequently screw this up, I have some parts for the trap here, so let's get the part I need to fix the trap properly, and do so before the guys start spawning all over the place. Well, I only had one half block. Good enough. But that's the design. Come on, die. There you go. So you would want to have a full block and a half block, and then another area in here where you've got protection. I used glass. You don't have to do that, obviously. I prefer to do it this way, just so I can see them, and they can't do anything about it. It's just low enough that the folks can't, with the bows and arrows, my skeletons can't get at me. Alrighty, so up we go again to the top, and we'll look at the mechanism for the third one. The third is the biggest of the traps, and strangely is not the most efficient of the three traps. So we'll go look at these. This was the first one I built, and it was built on somebody else's design, so I can't take credit for this. This is one that you see very frequently out on YouTube. The only big difference that I made on this versus other ones is I actually changed how far the mobs fall before they come down on the ground. Oh, yeah, that's going to help. Alright, so I can hear the mobs are in here, so I may have to... Oh, may want to knock a few of these guys off. Alright, let me fill my food back up so that I get some hearts. And then we'll light this place up a little bit. Okay, so another simple principle. These half blocks are supposed to keep the spiders from spawning. In this particular design, what I did was I've got some... let's try to light that up a little better for you guys. What I've got here this time is I've got a water source in the middle, and then it pushes down, so the mobs spawn out here. Eventually they go into the water. At one point in time the signs would work. I don't think they do anymore, but the signs would actually cause the mob to think that they could walk out over this space and not get injured. That is no longer the case, I believe. At least in my case it doesn't seem to help at all having these. So then they would fall down, and I've just got a kind of a trickling effect going, so that, you know, before it was they're going to spawn up and then they'd fall down a level. I don't want them to fall more than they would get injured, because eventually that last fall needs to take all but one of their hearts away, and if I have them fall too far, then obviously that's not going to do the thing. So I've got another design identical to the one before it, so if you fall down again, see again, no damage is done. And that was a creeper. He just blew the heck out of the guy right there, so now we got water falling down, so we got a busted trap. No worries there. But you're getting well, that is weird. Is that where he... yeah, so anyway, same design over and over again, going back and forth. Once again, you fall here. At the bottom of this one I put some come on, give me some light here. I'm gonna have to throw a block, otherwise I'm going to end up falling down that part of the trap here in a second. Yeah, this would effectively kill the trap. Let's make it so that I can get
block down, and then we'll go up and look at the bottom part of this trap. And there we go. Now in this bottom level, you would typically not see water rushing down, so we're going to plug that up so you get the full effect of what that's supposed to look like. There you go. And now we have the final hole that the mobs would fall through. It's going to take a little while for that to dry out downstairs. So in the meantime, you can see the original design that I had for these, which, by the way, did allow for quite a few spiders. So I came back in and refitted it with these half blocks. Having this original design, all the levels going up on this trap had these signs going across. Now, I have since learned that the mobs just don't seem to care, and so I don't do signs in any of the later traps. But this was the first trap that was built, and it's certainly the biggest and deepest. And you can see it just continues with the design of falling through each alternating hole, and then eventually falling through the big hole here at the bottom, which may not have... Yeah, okay, so boom, and you can see it takes a lot of my hearts away. Now, I have these iron boots with feather falling. That's why I'm not getting down to 1 heart, which is about where you'd get if you were a mob. And there we go. Trap back together, and this continues the same design. I like to keep glass in here so I can kind of see what's falling in, and I've got the 1 block and then half block design, so you've got the small area in here where you can go in and whack them with your preferably stone sword rather, because they're a 1-hit like that, and then you gather the experience. Yeah, so anyway, with that design. Okay, so anyway, the platform itself serves no function other than just to allow easy walking around out here. And at one point in time, I'll probably build a 4th trap, just because, well, that would keep it linear. And anyway, so yeah, so there's the 3 mob trap designs, all experience farms. If you were to want to just kill the mobs and have it drop down, and so you can go get their drops, which some of the most common drops are obviously your rotten flesh, and you get your you get your TNT and or gunpowder, so you can make TNT and stuff. You'll fill these up pretty quick with a design like this. All you got to do is kind of stand nearby, remembering one thing that mobs don't like to generate when you're too close, and so you'll want to not be too close to where the traps are as they're grinding up the monsters for you and dropping them down. But all you would need to do to make this a killer of mobs would be to drop it down maybe 2 more levels, and then have a water retrieval instead of having this nice little open window. You would just have them fall and die, and then have water running across, and you stand at one point and just sit there and let the drops get at you. But anyway, guys, this has been Big Daddy Nines, and I hope you can get something out of this. If any of this commentary was interesting to you, or you did find this useful in any way, please give me a quick like, and feel free to subscribe if you wish. And my blog, which is technical, might be boring to some of you gamers. It's 9z.com, super easy to remember. It's just the number 9 followed by the letter z.com. That's also got links to my LinkedIn, my Facebook, etc., etc. There you go. Thanks for giving us a watch, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.